the 31st of March, snow still on the ground, but we got blue sky, bright sunshine. It's time to go bike riding. So I'm going to put a hitch onto my Rogue 2015. I got the trailer hitch from e-trailers. They call it the hidden hitch. So we'll see how that goes when we put it up on the ramps. And if you have a capable assistant, you can get them to hold one end while you fasten the other. If you don't, like me, I've got the supports there. So it comes with bolts, washers, and you've got to get a torque wrench, something to clean the holes in, then you're all set. So we'll go through it as I put it up on the ramps and show you what needs to be taken off. This is the muffler here. This panel here needs to come off. It can go back on again. And this panel here goes off as well. And it can go back on again. Now there's two how-to guides on the web. One says you just give this back to the customer, and the other one says you put them back on. So we'll be putting them back on. Okay. As it's new, there's no rust in it. Nothing leaking. Good. Okay, we'll get down to it. So there's a Phillips head there, and there's push-ins there and there. With the push-ins, we've got a flat screwdriver, and we'll gently pull them out, making sure we don't break anything. Okay, now that this cover's off, we can put it aside. One thing to note, these fasteners, you put the screwdriver under here and pry that out, not under the what looks like the washer, otherwise it'll break it off. I didn't. I was lucky. Okay, so the cover is off on this, the driver's side. These are the holes we're going to screw into that one, and that one. They suggest you loosen up the exhaust bracket. Now, on the other side, there is this, what they call a tow bracket, so you can tow your car backwards, I guess. Or I can't see any other use for it. There's no holes in it, so I don't know why they put it on there. These two come off, and that's where it gets bolted to. So that's next. Previously I've needed to get a 19-inch wrench socket, and because I was turning over bolt heads, I got an impact socket. Well, you can't just buy one socket. You had to buy a whole kit. Here I needed a 19-inch and an 18-inch. So of course the kit only had 19 and 17. So the 19 is done for both. Okay, this is just about to come off. Right, these are the bolts for the tow hitch. Now, the washer, it's got a slight curve in it, and these dimples here, it goes up against the body, or against the tow hitch actually. Okay, so that will keep it hard up against it. It won't turn loose should the bolt sort of try to come loose. Now, because of these holes have been in the open, subject to dirt, it's recommended a pipe cleaning tool. Clean the holes out so that the threads are clear and the bolts can go in smoothly. So, like a lot of things, the holes don't line up. I'm going to have to take it off and somehow bend it, get it to work. The other side as well. See that? The hole's not there either. Crap. Okay. Well, we had trouble with the holes lining up on the tow hitch, so we've worked on them a little bit. Now we've dropped the exhaust down according to the instructions, held up by a webbing, and now we'll try the hitch again and see if it fits, see if the holes line up. Okay, now the hitch is on. Both brackets, left and right side, had to be adjusted. Good sledgehammer does that. The body part here had to be moved out of the way of this edge on both sides. It's just got a bit of clearance there as well as on the other side. Then here, this deflector bracket there, that had to be pushed, bent out a little bit to give you the clearance there. Okay, now we get the torque wrench out and we torque them up, so it's not too bad there, and then we've got to put the muffler back up again. Okay, so I bought myself this torque wrench at Harbour Freight. Cost $11.99 instead of $16.99, but as long as it does this job, I guess that's all I want from it. I'll probably never need it again. They say to torque them up to 86 pound. Okay, well, that's what we'll do. Okay, well, that's done. Right, that's done. So now I'll put these back on again. This time I'm using disposable gloves because this greasy shit is very, excuse the language, is very difficult to get off again. Come on. Let's come over. Oh yeah, try it that way. Alright, gonna need two hands on this one. Alright, that's on. Now, it's a very tight fit. through here. But here it's got the clearance there. Once you get it over that lip, that's okay. But you're going to need two hands to do that. Alright, that's on. See, there's two hooks there. That's working. And alright, now in one of the how-to-dos, they say these covers, you just toss them away. I'm going to put them back on. This looks too unfinished here, so I'm going to put them back on. So we'll see how that goes. Right, this is the passenger side, so we'll put that back. It's got two fasteners there, one fastener there, and that one there. They seem to be just dirt collectors, but I guess it gives it a nice smooth finish, so we'll put it back on. Okay, that's the left side done, passenger side. So, secret, no matter how hard you try, there's a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it. And if you're old like me, memory fades. This has got to go on the inside, and the fasteners go on from here. If you try it the other way, it doesn't work, because this hole there is too big, so it just keeps falling out, and you're wondering what you're doing wrong. Yeah, okay, there, that looks good. It's got that finished look about it, though this does end up being a dirt catcher, and it's going to be very hard to clean. I wonder how much it'll have after about 5 years. Depends where you are, I guess. Okay, now we do the other side. Well, I must be getting old. I was looking for the driver's side cover, and I couldn't find it because I put it up here to set it up. Now, what you've got to do with this one is you've actually got to cut it here to give you clearance to get it past the bracket so you can fit it snug. So I'm just going to have to measure it up. Take a little while. Okay, so this is the driver's side. It's on. Now, what you've got to do is you've got to trim this up to get past this bracket, and of course the more exact you try to become, the more work you got to put into sharp knife, and don't do it on concrete or something like that, because then your knife's not going to be sharp after you're finished. The more exact you're going to be, the more times you're going to have to take it off and do it again. So near enough is good enough. So that's on. And the other thing is, yeah, probably easier to put on if the muffler was still down. It's easier to get in behind it, behind that. And here, if the muffler was down. But hey, it's done. So now we'll see what it looks like. That's it. Well, I suppose it's hidden. From here, it's not lower than the muffler, so it's about the same height as the muffler, so it's not going to hit anything. Oh, good. Now we'll try the hitch. Now I've got this bike rack. It's 1.25 into 2 inches. It's going to be very sloppy in there. So what I've done is I've bought this 2 inch 1.25 reduction. So we're going to try that, see how that looks. So that's the bracket in there. Now you can use an ordinary fastener in there with a clip, and then put your rack in there. But how easy it would be for somebody just to pull the clip up and take your bike rack and everything else like that. So what I've done is I've bought a fastening lock for that, so it'll be keyed there and it'll be keyed on the rack. So that's keyed in there, and we're just going to put the rack on. Okay, so that's the rack keyed in. Yeah, it stands out a bit, but unless you can get a shorter bar here, that's it. Alright, and then this is you can pull this, so if you want to open up your back. So, well, that was an effort. Much more difficult than the last time I tried. But can have some fun biking this year.